One Zambia, One Nation. Thanks for joining us on Zanis News. My name is Chisha Mutale. The headlines. Government to put up better refugee policy. Solwezi Cholera Isolation Center full. Muyala residents in Mungwi get health post. Plus, Kasama Debs calls on teachers to improve learners' performance. And now the news in detail. Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwimbu says the National Refugee Policy and Implementation Plan will help alleviate the challenges faced in managing refugees and persons of concern. Mr. Mwimbu says it is imperative that the country puts in place a refugee policy that will characterize the world's best practices. The minister was speaking in Lusaka at the launch of the first ever National Refugee Policy and Implementation Plan. Here's a report.
For a long time, Zambia has been hosting refugees and persons of concern, but not without challenges. It is against this background that a national refugee policy and implementation plan has been put in place in a bid to address these challenges. Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Jack Mwimbu, launched the policy today in Lusaka.
I'm pleased to share that the government of the Republic of Zambia continues to take strides in contributing to the fight against forced displacements and these causes. This morning, I'm honored and privileged to officially launch the country's first ever National Refugee Policy and Implementation Plan. The country has had a history of hosting refugees that dates to as far back as the 1940s. Since then, the country has maintained an open door policy and has over the years seen a steady increase in refugees entering the country seeking asylum. It is only suitable then that this increase in refugees, as well as the maintenance of the open door policy, has a comprehensive legal system in place to support the provision of quality essential services and protection to displaced persons. As reviewed at many international forums, the government continues to show its commitment to ensuring that refugees and other persons of concern have equitable access to quality services and protection.
The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees has pledged to support the government in the refugee policy implementation process.
There will be a need to put in place a structured process that leads to a roadmap that is agreed soon to realize the ambitions laid out in the National Refugee Policy. UNHCR offers its full support to the government in this work. The launch of the policy today builds on the decades of life-saving work by the Zambian people in opening their doors to those seeking asylum, in refugee protection and assistance, and lays a foundation for the country to model an approach that is progressive and demonstrates that the central ambitions of the Global Compact on refugees.
Meanwhile, Chance Owera, a refugee, had this to share.
Allow me first to congratulate the government for the launch of the National Refugee Policy. We await the implementation of the plan, and we await to be included in the implementation process. Allow me first to say also that I'm grateful that I was born in Zambia. I'm grateful that Zambia is a country that recognizes the importance of safeguarding the lives of refugees and allowing them to survive in a country that is not their own. Today, I come to you with a message from our community, appealing for a clear pathway to allow us to build a future within the safety borders of Zambia.
Shilika Chabalengula for Zanis in Lusaka.
Luapula Province Minister Chilanga Cement has called on stakeholders to partner with government in its efforts to mitigate the spread of the cholera pandemic. Ms. Cement said this at New Soweto Market, where she received a donation of 50 multi-purpose drums from the Trade Kings Group meant for garbage collection. She commended the Trade Kings Group for supporting government efforts and demonstrating commitment to the Zambian people during disasters and epidemics. Details in this report.
Government has continued intensifying efforts to sensitize people on their role in helping mitigate the spread of cholera. Luapula Province Minister Chilanga Cement, who toured New Soweto and city markets, is impressed with the hygiene condition of the markets.
From the ablution, the toilets, they are so clean. The way the people are there selling their merchandise, the meat and all, very clean surrounding. And we are happy because there's running clean water. Water is basic in everything. So we are very happy with what we have seen here.
The minister, who earlier received a donation of 50 multi-purpose drums from the Trade Kings Group, has called on other stakeholders to partner with government to curb the disease.
So Boma, Iamika, Bantu amene bazipeleka munga wa Trade King. Ine, kunkala provincial minister, nita na bakine, awa amene bayangana chabe, makampani, nao babwele, tisanzele pamozi.
Trade Kings Public Relations Manager Bridget Kambobe said her organization is committed to working with government to help fight cholera.
We want to demonstrate the commitment during crisis, not even before crisis, any situation that we can come in line, especially with disasters and crisis. We are here, Minister, to remain committed.
Meanwhile, managers at New Soweto and city markets also shared their views.
One of the measures we put in place also is to suspend the restaurants around the market for now. We said no selling of cooking food that shouldn't be done in the market, because this outbreak is quite serious.
Provincial minister and the government of the day, they've been on our side to help us with our fellow marketeers, making sure that the market is clean and we quench the issue of cholera. With New Soweto, we've only recorded one case of cholera.
While government and its partners remain dedicated to combating cholera, onus is on every citizen to play their role to help stop the spread. Ntazanga Mumba for Zanis in Lusaka District.
And in Southern Province, Provincial Minister Credo Nanjua has called on community leadership to spearhead the construction of pit latrines at household level in Monze District. Over 3,000 residents of Nyimba fishing camp in the area are depending on 2 pit latrines constructed near the clinic, as no household has a toilet. Mr. Nanjua says poor sanitation poses a risk of a possible outbreak of cholera in the fishing camp. More in this report.
Poor hygiene and sanitation structures, coupled with the lack of access to clean drinking water, are among some of the leading causes of cholera. Here, at Nyimba Fishing Camp, a population of over 3,000 residents depend on these 2 toilet facilities, while the only source of drinking water is at these banks of the Kafue River. Despite having not recorded any cholera case, the sanitation and hygiene status in this community is of concern to authorities. Southern Province Minister and his team have visited the area to intensify public sensitization on the need of enhanced sanitation and hygiene status in the area.
Bale bantu basata n'abahwira kugujigu n'abahwagujise bahwana nkugumampanda bahizati banjire baguya kumonze mulehe kuba tambulaga botu okuba bambaga bale bagiswa gwambati bulwa hibutashali mono munyimba tuli antomwe amwe nibashibugu mwezi washiga first sanitizing namwabona muntu ulatonga ogamweho ulawayawaya mwamutola oro mwana mwamutola first wamba at least bamwambira jagujita.
During a visit to the local makeshift clinic, district health officials indicated their preparedness to manage the disease.
We sent them some supplies and also chlorine or sanitizing. Yes, and some drugs, some antibiotics and IV fluids. Patients pass through here. So once they reach here, we sent them a boat to pick them from there to the harbour.
And community members here have appreciated this gesture.
I
would like to thank our visitors who have come to educate us about the disease cholera. They have taught us how to protect our community, especially that we have received a lot of transit passengers who might be carriers of the disease.
Diseli Simusole, Zanis, in Monze District, Southern Province.
In Northwestern Province, Solwezi District Cholera Isolation Center has reached its capacity, prompting authorities to close Solwezi Urban Clinic and convert it into a diarrhea and cholera treatment center. Solwezi District Health Director Dr. Bumba Bubala told journalists that the facility will not be attending to any other illnesses apart from cholera-related cases. Dr. Bubala further said the district needs 100 extra cholera beds to meet escalating cases of cholera that are being recorded on a daily basis. Chai Wunkoma has the story.
Some marketplaces have been termed as hotspots of cholera cases owing to accumulation of garbage. In Solwezi District, a multi-sectorial team is on top of things to bring sanity in markets and the streets in order to curb cholera. Meanwhile, Provincial Minister Robert Riefu has raised a concern against people selling foods in the streets.
I'm encouraging my people in the province, I think, to stop vending at this point of time. Yes, I know how difficult it is to sustain living. But at a time of this nature, I think my people should stop vending so that we protect the lives of our people.
Kakoma Mtoshi is Kiawama Ward Councillor and has this to say.
Exercise of cleaning, we should all join hands to see to it that we eradicate cholera. Cholera has come to stay, therefore it needs our effort in order for us to eradicate this disease. With what is happening here, I think it's very encouraging because even the provincial minister is with us here just to boost this cleaning system. Therefore, everyone within Kiawama market, I'm appealing to them that we should make sure that this place is kept clean. Cholera is about dirtiness. Once we clean our surroundings, it means that the place we are trading from is a very clean place and will not expect cholera.
And public health specialist Dr. Kizito Sampa has advised people to avoid buying foods from the streets.
Food hygiene. This time around, I think you remember that there is an SI which is in force. All the street vendors, the people that are selling foods on the streets, because that food is not secure. So that one could also be contributing to the rising cases of cholera that we have experienced recently. So I think my appeal to the community out there is, please, let's take these measures that are being put in place seriously for us to fight this scourge of cholera.
Reporting for Zanis News, I am Chebun Koma in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
We take our first break, and when we come back, we have an item on agriculture.
Kodi kolera ndi chani?
Kolera ndi matenda othulula. Munthu amene adwala matenda ya kolera amathulula kwambiri ndi kusanza. Dothi lake limakhala ngati madzi momwe atsukira mpunga. Ndipo munthu odwala kolera, madzi mthupi lake amatha kamba kakuti iye amachoka kwambiri kupyolera mkusanza ndi kuthulula kwambiri. Munthu odwala kolera angamwalire m'maola 12 kaya kuti 12 hours ngati sanalandire mwamsanga thandizo la mankhwala.
Kodi munthu angatengere motani matenda a kolera?
Kumwa madzi adothi, kudya zakudya ndi m'manja mosasamba mwadothi kapena kugwiritsa ntchito mbale zotsukiwa ndi madzi adothi. Kudya zakudya zimene zinangosiwa mosasamala posabwinikira. Kudya zakudya zozizira zachimbala zimene sizinasungiwa bwino. Kudya zakudya zimene amagulitsa mphepete mwa misewu. Kudya zipatso ndi ndiwo zamasamba zosatsuka.
Kodi kolera ingachinjiriziwe?
Gadusani madzi anu akumwa kapena kugwiritsa ntchito chlorine. Sambani m'manja ndi madzi aukhondo ndi sopo mukamaliza kugwiritsa ntchito chimbudzi. Funditsani zakudya mukalibe kuyamba kudya. Osadya zakudya zimene zimagulitsiwa mphepete mwa misewu. Muyenera kubwinikira zakudya kuopetsa kuti ntchentche zingakakeko. Nthawi zonse muyenera kugwiritsa ntchito chimbudzi. pewani kugwiritsa ntchito machemba kapena maplastiki ngati chimbudzi. Onani kuti dothi litayiwa mchimbudzi. Nthawi zonse onani kuti zimbudzi zikhala zaukhondo ndipo nthawi zonse pa mbowa wa chimbudzi chanu pazikhala pobwinikira bwinobwino. Okubweretsani uthenga uyu ndi aunduna wa zaumoyo.
Minister of Labor and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba says in order to promote harmony and enforcement of labor laws between employees and employers, labor officers have been rehabilitated in 7 districts around the country. Speaking in a speech read on her behalf by Labor and Social Security Acting Permanent Secretary Zachariah Luhanga, Ms. Tambatamba says the labor officers will help improve service delivery to clients seeking labor services. Beatrice Mfula has more in this report.
The Kafue Labor Office has been rehabilitated at a cost of over 800,000 kwacha. Speaking during the handover ceremony, Labor and Social Security Minister Brenda Tambatamba, who was represented by Labor and Social Security Acting Permanent Secretary Zachariah Luhanga, says government wants to stop renting office space and use the funds for other economic-driven programs.
We are seeing here, will be also witnessing it in the following districts. Number 1, Mazabuka. Number 2, Choma. Number 3, Livingstone. Number 4, Kabwe. Number 5, Chipata. And last but not the least, Mansa. Most of the districts use RDCs, recurrent departmental charges funding, to pay rent for such offices. Instead of using these resources for enhancing the operations.
Meanwhile, Kafue District Commissioner Maurice Hikapulo is elated that the office has been renovated.
Lack of good ops outlook compromises the function of any office, and it brings down the morale of those operating in them. Therefore, a gesture of this nature from the Minister of Labor and Social Security will always be honored and remembered that it is indeed a milestone to enhance efficient and effective services delivery.
And Labor Commissioner Gibbons Mutengwa also took time to inspect some companies in the district and suspended works at Mumeka Investment Limited for non-compliance to providing workers with personal protective equipment, PPE.
So we are suspending works because it's not safe for you to work from upstairs, right? Yes.
Beatrice Mfula reporting for Zanis in Kafue.
Residents of Muyala in Mungwi have commended government for constructing a health post in the area under the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, at a cost of over 150,000 kwacha. Stanislas Chafilwa, a community member, said the coming of the health post will help to reduce the distance that people in the area used to access health services in Kayambi area, which is about 30 kilometers away. Details in the following report.
The increased allocation of CDF has continued to impact communities through development in various sectors. The story is not different with Mayala community in Mungwi, which has received a health post that was constructed using CDF at a total cost of over 150,000 kwacha. Mungwi District Commissioner Muma Msonda has commissioned the health post.
Investment in healthcare infrastructure is government's #1 priority, which is why we are witnessing this massive development here, and we shall continue to see more of it because of the Constituency Development Fund.
Rachel Banda, who represented Mungwi Council Secretary, said the people of Muyala used to cover long distances to access health services.
Mlandu impesha watu pela kwa CDF nomba tuwakwanisha nomba tuwaleta neshipatala pepe bakwe abantu beswale kusuka.
Meanwhile, Mungwi Council Chairperson Grace Chomba said CDF is not only improving infrastructure development but also impacting people's lives.
I'm so happy for them because it will reduce maternal death. Now we'll have the house that will be built and the maternity annex that will be built and an incinerator. So it will be a fully packed, by the end of this year, it will be a fully packed health clinic, health post.
Beneficiaries of health center have commended government for the gesture.
Natwale chula mweneni tulafuma pano tula kukayambi kulia ukushaire pera kutali chine ntamfu ishikuru. Twatashe chine no uteko wa UPND pakuti ati utulanguluke.
For Zanis in Mongwe, Amtizao Namlenga.
Beneficiaries of the Constituency Development Fund CDF empowerment loans and grants in Kasempa and Manyinga districts have praised government for promoting skills and entrepreneurial development among local communities. The beneficiaries, who have ventured into various business activities, disclose that CDF has continued to yield positive results in the communities. Mwiche Poya now gives us a report.
The Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has continued to bear fruits in the local communities. Beneficiaries of the CDF empowerment loans in Kasempa district have expressed gratitude to government for the empowerment programs.
One of the beneficiaries, I got a loan from the CDF, and at the same time, I was awarded this project of making desks. Sure. So this is what has come out from the loan and from the award which I was given.
Actually, we've benefited on both angles of skills. We were taken for skills, and when you came back from skills, we were given a loan. I wanted to mention that the works that the president has brought to us should be appreciated by everywhere Zambian.
In Manyinga district, Lima Women's Club has procured a hammer mill and is providing a service of mini mill processing to the local communities.
Yes, the hammer mill is helping us very much. Since we've just started, we just employed one person to be running the hammer mill. We are yet to employ more. And this hammer mill is helping us very much in this community. We are very thankful for this offer.
Information and Media Director Henry Kapata visits the beneficiaries to appreciate their innovation.
We have to drive the vision of the president, who has raised the bar of CDF so that there's job creation, the youths have something to do. So we commend you for what you are doing, and we know that there's a bit of knowledge transfer from your experience. These young people from here now, they'll form up their own companies, maybe access CDF as well.
Yes.
So they will also employ. So we have many people now getting into the system.
Skills and entrepreneurial development is key to economic growth. Mwichachpea reporting for Zanis, Kasempa District, Northwestern Province.
We take another break, and when we come back, an item on development.
Hena korera ninzi, korera mburwazi ibwa kusomwana. Imuntu ujiswa mburwazi ibwa korera, ulasomwana kuluka kapati. Itubi tulamenda manji. Imurwazi ulangwanyo takapati agambwa kumana kwa menda mubiri. Imurwazi iwakorera wenga wahwa umawola alo ali 12 umbo kutita jana busirisi bulika boto. Hena munzira iri buti muntu bwako yakujana burwazi bwakorera. Igunywa menda alo atabikibyo musamu ja tuzunda na menda aje sitombe. Igurya jagurya jalo igubereha manza atasahigwa igabuto na igubereha mitima na himwi yalo atasahigwa amimusamu na mwamenda ajisi imusamu walo jatuzunda. Igurya jagurya jitawunigidwe jalo jakarwa nzinini. Igurya jagurya jitontola jalo jalegegwa na jajiro jalo jenero tijayoborwa gabuto. Igurya jagurya jamumazira. Igurya imijelo na jihumani jalo jatasahigwa gaboto. Hena munzira iri buti muntu mbwako yahugwa bira burwazi bwakorera. Igubona masimpe guti wabagwananganya gaboto menda agunywa. Igwinda mugubona masimpe guti ajigwa na igubiko musamu wa chlorine. Amusambe mumanze nugubere hansipa. Na menda abigwe musamu ujatuzunda. Mwamana gubere hajimbuzi. Amujisibige nangu jigasaha ija kurya gamutana agujirya. Amuhunige ija kurya jindi yonse igutegwa guti jitakarwe nzinini. Mutari ija kurya jagura mu mazira. Amuberehe ijimbuzi jindi yonse. Amulitantamune mugobereha igumbuli na tupepa rwa plastic mugusowa tubi. ambone masimpe kuti tubi twasogwa naye kubikwamo jembozi ambone masimpe kuti jembozi chindi chonse kachisalala nakachihunikidwe oyi mulumbe letwa kulindunye abamuthabulanga nyanseba mujisi.
Kasama District Education Board Secretary James Chibuye has urged head teachers in the district to be creative and improve learner performance in their respective schools. Mr. Chibuye says head teachers are appointed to bring positive changes to schools. He said this when he officially opened the capacity building program for Kasama-based head teachers. Mr. Chibuye has further noted that the outbreak of cholera in some parts of the country will affect the school calendar. He has since challenged head teachers in the district to be strategic and innovative when the schools reopen so that learner performance is not affected. Mr. Chibuye advised head teachers to ensure that teachers work hard and perform according to expectations.
The call on all of us is that let us start today to prepare children for the coming examinations. Already you can see the situation that has happened. We could have been in our second week, but because of the pandemic that's happening in the other parts of the country, our learners are not yet in school. But the number of days and years in a year are fixed. So it means we need to do more when things normalize, when our children come back to school.
Creating an effective school is dependent on the leadership of the head teacher. Therefore, I call upon all the head teachers to strive to ensure that our schools are effective and conducive enough for learning and teaching process.
Luapula Province Minister Njava Simutoe has called for full involvement of traditional leaders in sensitizing their subjects on the implementation of the fish ban in the province. Speaking when he checked on compliance levels of the fish ban on selected water bodies in Chifunabuli district, the minister says government is worried with the continued disregard of fish ban by fishermen in the province. Details in this report.
Government is currently implementing a fish ban on all water bodies in Luapula Province. However, some fishermen have continued to engage in fishing activities. This situation has saddened Luapula Province Minister Njava Simutoe, who checked on compliance levels of the ban in Chifunabuli district.
We have passed through this Lake Bango, where we have seen some people continuing fishing when there is a fish ban. I think the fish ban started the 1st December. It will end somewhere in March. But it's like people, they are not listening to what government is trying to do. They have to give this period of breeding. They have to give the chance to the lakes that the fish can breed.
Luapula Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Prudence Chinama wants the Minister of Fisheries and Livestock in the province to conduct more patrols and encourage people to venture into fish farming.
People fishing in broad daylight without even any fear. So we are calling upon our Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock, that if we don't protect our fish stocks, because they are supposed to breed now. Now, we can see even from the fishing nets that our fishermen are using. They are using mosquito nets, meaning that they are fishing even fingerlings, babies, and all the stages of fish. They are fishing this time.
In Luapula Province, the fish ban, which is aimed at giving fish chance to breed, starts on December 1st of each year and ends on 1st March the following year. Kenneth Chomba reporting for Zanis News in Chifunabuli district.
And in Lusaka, Chilanga Cement Company Limited has donated 5 10,000 liters water tanks and 500 cases of chlorine to Chilanga Town Council towards the fight against cholera. Speaking when he received the items, Chilanga Town Council Chairperson Champion Tembo says the donation will help to provide clean drinking water to people in cholera hotspot areas, as opposed to drinking contaminated water from shallow wells. Mr. Tembo explained that the water tanks will be placed in the markets in order to remedy the problem of contaminated sources of drinking water in the areas. Details in this report.
The government and the business community continue to respond to the outbreak of cholera affecting people and communities. Chilanga Cement Company Limited has stepped up to support Chilanga Town Council's efforts against cholera. The company donated 5 10,000-liter water tanks and 500 cases of domestic chlorine to Chilanga Town Council.
To complement the government's initiative towards the fight against cholera in our district, we have also come here today to donate 5,000 cases of domestic chlorine and of 5 and 10,000 liter PVC tanks to be installed at areas where shallow wells have been buried to offer clean water. With the contribution, we hope to equip the Chilanga district and the nation with the right tools to fight this pandemic.
Chilanga District Town Council Chairperson Champion Tembo was on hand to receive the donation.
Ladies and gentlemen, this huge donation of 500 cases of chlorine and 5 by 10,000 liters of PVC tanks is highly appreciated. This donation will make a lot of people in affected areas chlorinate their water and also give them access to clean drinking water.
Chilanga District Commissioner David Chelen expressed gratitude to Chilanga Cement Company Limited for the donation.
When this cholera broke out, it became a very serious issue. Okay, we cannot just leave it to our local authority alone. We had to come together to say, let us see where we can get help. We sat down with our local authority here, our town clerk, our council secretary, and then we said, as a council, go ahead, see what you can do. And I think that's how they also decided to approach you, the partners.
Mailis Kavingo, for Zanis, in Chilanga District, Lusaka.
As we end the news, a recap of the headlines. Government to put up better refugee policy. Solwezi Cholera Isolation Center full. Muyala residents in Mungwi get health post. Plus, Kasama Debs calls on teachers to improve learners' performance. Well, that's all we had for you on Zanis News. My name is Chishamtale. Pleasant viewing.